In this lesson, we're going to look at box plots using our standard 6.SP.4. So to build a box plot, we have to have a data set. In this data set, I have 14 data values. That means there are 14 numbers here. So in that box plot, I need to start looking at what I'm going to use to build it. So in a box plot, we have 5 pieces of information. So we have our lower extreme, our first quartile, our median, our third quartile, and our upper extreme. Lower and upper extremes are just a fancy way of saying our smallest number and our largest number. So let's go ahead and circle our smallest number and our largest number. And I'm going to label that LE for lower extreme and UE for upper extreme. All right. And then we said we had our quartile 1, our quartile 3, and our median. So let's go ahead and find that median, the center point of our data. There are 14 numbers here. So my median is going to fall in between number 7 and 8 up here, the 7th and 8th number. Well, if I don't have an actual median, I take these two numbers and I say 68 plus 68, and then I divide by 2, so my median will be 68. Okay, and then I need to find my quartile 1 and my quartile 3, my third quartile, my first quartile. To do that, I'm going to start at my median, and I'm going to break this half of the data in half again. Like there are 4 quarters in a dollar, there are 4 quartiles in a data set. The median would be our 50% halfway, so we want to see where 25% of our data falls. So I can start here at 68 and 61, and I can work my way in, and this 64 is going to be my Q1, my first quartile. So I could do the same thing on this side of my data. Start here and work my way in. And 63 is my third quartile, my third section of my data. So it's important to note that each section here is worth 25% of the data. We will see some state test questions that ask that. So now I can start building, excuse me, my box plot. So the first thing I want to put on my box plot is my median, my center number. So I'm just going to go right here. Sorry, that drew a little extra line. Right here, and I'm going to label this 68. And I'm going to put a dot up here for my median. And then I'm going to go to my Q1, and it is 67, 66, 65, 64. And I'm going to put a dot here. And then I need to put a dot at my lower extreme. So I'm going to keep going this way, 63, 62, 61, and place a dot here. I'm going to do the same thing over this direction. I need to get to 73. So 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, and place a dot. And then I need to go on to 78. So I'm going to keep going, 74, 75, 76, 77, and 78. And place a dot here. So since I'm building a box plot, I'm going to have a box on this number line. So my box is going to go from my inner quartile range, which runs from my Q1 to Q3, and my median just gets a straight line at it. And then we have our whiskers. A lot of people call this a box and whisker plot, or you could just call it the box plot, either way. And then we extend our whiskers out to the side. So this portion of data is 25%. This portion is 25, this portion is 25, and this portion is 25% of the data for 100% of my data set. This box represents 50% because it is 2 sections that are both worth 25%. So we'll see questions that'll say what percentage is above 64. That would be 75% because we have 25, 25, and 25% of our data. A smaller section means that our data is more compact, and a larger section means that our data is more spread out. The numbers are closer together or the numbers are a little farther apart.